Doo-doo.
I think it's going.
I got a delay on my side. Hold on a second.
I just got a notification that you went live.
We are live.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Disney, we are live. Woohoo! Hello. I started doing now in all my Facebook Lives just because I think every day should have some jazz hands, but like a little like, hey, everybody.
Just kidding.
I mean, we gotta have fun, and I'm super excited to sit down with the one and only Disney Dixon. Although, can I just say, did you make the official switch?
I did. It doesn't ring as much. I'm maybe regretting it, but my husband appreciates it.
So now we formally introduce you as Mrs. Disney Tolhurst, right?
Yay.
That,
Yeah.
that's right. That's jazz hand worthy, but maybe this way.
Yeah, that way.
So how are you today?
I am doing really great. I'm glad to be working. Business is good right now.
Good. Good. So for those who have not had the opportunity yet, please share with everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Disney Tolhurst. I live in Orlando. I am part of the Funk Collection over with Jeff and Renee. I've been in the industry for about 2.5 years now, and basically just working in the Orlando area. I love it so much. It's been a lot of growth in this area, and basically I specialize in 2 markets. So if you would love to come and hang out with me, I specialize in the vacation market on one side. So if you're interested in short-term rental investments or just want a vacation home, I've got a lot of second home lovers out here, as well as primary residences in my town that I love so much, Winter Garden. It's up and coming. Horizons
love Winter Garden.
Oh yeah, and definitely going to get some equity over there, as well as, of course, where our office is based, Windermere and Dr. Phillips.
I love it. Well, since you mentioned, I mean, goodness, we know you're rocking it with those investors that are coming into town and asking that question is, well, what does Orlando offer? What kind of opportunity is in Orlando for an investor, perhaps either considering renting it out short-term or long-term? What have you been seeing while you're out in the field and in your experience?
Yeah, so actually, even just hanging out on Airbnb, I get this little magazine every month. Did you know that Kissimmee has the largest amount of vacation rentals in the world right over here in Kissimmee?
So you just taught me something.
I know.
So that's a recent Airbnb stat that came out?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was in a magazine because Airbnb started a magazine. So
okay.
How random that I was reading it and that came up. So.
Well, I love that you're teaching me something, and that's a good tidbit to know. I mean, we know that investors we work with are obviously going to leverage technology like Airbnb and VRBO, and we also know 72 million visitors last year came to Orlando. So, sounds like the perfect mix, right?
That's exactly right. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity, whether it's just getting that vacation home and leaving it for your second home and letting it earn equity, because at the end of the day, you cannot change location, and Disney World is always going to be there. You're always going to have your foreign tourists and visitors. And of course, long-term, like you said, people are moving to Orlando, 1,000 people a day from what I heard around the block, because of all of Orlando's growth, from technology and startups to, of course, Disney and Universal continuing to expand their parks, and they all need people to work for them. So it's a great investment on both sides. And as you know, Forbes has said that Orlando is one of the top places to invest in the US.
2 years in a row. So the Funk Collection, our team, we talk a lot about that, right? I mean, here's the thing is when you have Forbes, and also DuPont came out and named Orlando best city to invest in. When you have these kind of resources and heavy hitters naming our area as a great area to invest. In fact, Forbes had said 35% projected increase in home values over the next 3 years.
I mean, and I'm sure you can say it for yourself, but even just buying my house 2 years ago, it's already gone up significantly in value. So we're even thinking about a second one ourselves, you know? I'm not a hypocrite. I won't sell your house. I'm looking at buying too.
Smart, smart, smart girl. Invest in real estate. So what are a few of your favorite communities as far as on either side when you're looking at potential primary or if you have investors?
Well, two different things completely, but if we're looking at short-term rentals, of course, the most popular heavy hitter right now is going to be Story Lake. That's by Lennar, right in Kissimmee. And that's because it's just like minutes from the outlets in Disney Springs. And it's got some really, really awesome amenities that makes it affordable for families as well as the people buying them. So you get a bang for your buck. Another great one, of course, is Encore at Reunion. That's where you can get those massive, anywhere from 4 to 12 bedroom homes. There's not many other communities in this market that can host that large amount of people. So yeah, it kind of stiffs out the competition. And also if you want to come with like 40 people, you'll have a place to stay.
Perfect.
Yeah. And of course, if we're talking a little older, but oldie but a goodie, Jeff Funk loves good old Windsor Hills, and I got to agree with him.
Oh, wait, were we saying that Jeff is the oldie but goodie or the community?
Maybe both, right? If he's listening, I'm sorry.
Jeff will be tuning in and sharing this like crazy. Maybe, I don't know. We were referencing the community. So Windsor Hills is an awesome established community that, yes, it has been around for some time. But do you know, though, obviously, you know, Windsor Hills is near and dear to our heart because over the last 15 years, I think Windsor Hills has been around. It's established. Windsor Hills has been one of the communities that we've experienced investors and buyers to come back time and time again. Most of our investors who have invested there have come back and bought more than one. So in the assessment that Jeff and I make, it's more so just passing along feedback we get from our previous customers, right? And if we have customers who say, hey, we're doing so great, we're loving it. The cool thing about Windsor Hills is you have resale values, some of which are still being priced around the 2010 market.
Right.
And so that's the other thing a lot of people don't realize about Orlando is when we look at some of these vacation home communities that are, you know, perfect zoning for short-term rental. And I know you see it, right? As you see some prices, we have a unique market. Not a lot of places in the country can say, oh, are you valued around the same price value as you were around 2009, 2010? That's crazy. Come on, investors, it's time to buy.
Right? This is a different market because you know what? The parks are here, tourism is here. So guess who's here? A lot of foreigners, a lot of people from anywhere but America. So if America's doing great, great. If they're doing bad, also great because more tourists are going to come. So
we get a lot of foreign national investors for sure. So you talked about, you liked Windsor Hill. What about when we look at primary residence? So what are you seeing when you're out and about? Like, what are some of your hot communities that just really check so many boxes?
well, basically anywhere in Horizons West, as we all know, people are just flocking to that area because you're like 15, 20 minutes from Disney and you're still getting that great value as the home prices continue to rise with some really great school districts and really awesome amenities that are going to come in the couple of years. So, and with that being said, Taylor Morrison is opening up their next extension of Hamlin, which is going to be a hot pick. Hawksmoor at Mattamy just opened. We had a team meeting. If you want to check the previous videos,
That's right.
There's a little bit of a photos from Renee to check out. And then of course, if you're looking over in the heart of Winter Garden, you've got all of that extension, which is going to be waterside. And over by Twin Waters, they're doing a huge expansion and it's just minutes from Winter Garden Village. So with the right agent, you guys can find out some of the best communities that aren't even necessarily listed live on the internet yet.
That's so true. And you bring up a really good point that I think we should touch on, and that is the philosophy of our team. So when Jeff and I first set out to grow the team, it was important to us to make sure that we built a culture, we instilled a culture and cultivated a culture that really was along the philosophy that Jeff and I have shared. And we want to be specialists in certain areas. So although Disney, you can sell anywhere in the state of Florida, as can I or Jeff or anyone on the Funk Collection. You know, you talk about your areas of specialty. You're a Winter Garden resident. You live, work, play there. This is your backyard. And so this is where you know all the intricate details. I mean, look, listening to you, you're the expert, which really gives you that edge so that you can help the customer even more.
Absolutely. And I mean, what my research and what info I can give is ultimately beneficial to everyone, because the more people that live in Winter Garden, the more people that give the feedback that they love it. And of course, there's that trust. And I think that's the most important thing you look for in your realtor, I think.
It is. And really it comes down to building the relationship, which we always feel that we are happy to work with customers that are ready tomorrow or 5 years from now. And we like to be that point of contact, whether it's just vendor recommendations or anything we can do to assist. I just love that, you know, you found a passion, which, it's not a coincidence, but it happens to be in your neighborhood too. You know, you're a Winter Garden resident, you specialize and you know every detail. What are you seeing as far as, are you seeing some growth over in the downtown Winter Garden area with that revitalization?
Oh, absolutely. So that was one place where when I first moved here, I was like, oh, this place is so cute. I could buy something over here. And then by the time I was ready, everything was just skyrocketing. So, you know, they've definitely done like a huge reno. You know, you're looking at, obviously they've got the brewery, they've got all these shops and restaurants, but they are just making an amazing effort to make it one of the best places to go. And I'm so grateful to just live down the street.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, every new construction that has been built around that has basically sold out like this. So
it does. It goes fast. And what I love about the revitalization that's going on in Winter Garden, I'm a Windermere resident. And what I love by that is, whether you live in Windermere or Winter Garden, one of the great things is proximity, right? You mentioned proximity to Disney World. Obviously, we hear fireworks in our backyard every night, but also knowing that with convenience, we have some really cool things to visit. We have the whole downtown Winter Garden area, which is just a plethora of amazing shops and restaurants now. And there's a farm to table. And you said the brewery, it's amazing. But also you have Restaurant Row and Dr. Phillips. So it's great proximity to the both things. Restaurant Row is fantastic. And then now you have Lakeside Village, which you probably don't remember, Disney, but I was in Windermere before. We used to have to drive a long way to get milk or gas. Now we have Lakeside Village, which is in Windermere, and that's dining and shopping and convenience. So it's really the best of all worlds, this little Southwest Orlando. I call it little, but it's not. It's epic and amazing.
And then, I mean, in saying that though, there's literally everything here. So I feel like I never need to leave this bubble. So, you know, when they say Orlando, it's like, well, where in Orlando, you know? Yeah, everything I need, Winter Garden, Windermere. So I'm a little
It's true. No, it's true. You and I have a similar bubble. Jeff will laugh at me sometimes and he'll say, are you going to get out of that bubble very often? But it's just all right here. Everything we need is right here. I can get out of the bubble. I was downtown not too long ago, but you don't have to.
I ventured out. I went to a show.
That's right. I was. You're right. Good point. I was at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center, which is fantastic for all who haven't had a chance to go yet.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears a little bit. It's like a really obvious pivot, but I have to ask, how long have you been with eXp Realty? Talk a little bit about your experience with eXp and your favorite tools, and just let's hear a little bit about Disney and eXp.
Sure. So I can't actually remember. When did we go? November?
Well, we have the same date. That's right. So, you know, our anniversary actually is this week, 18 months, girl.
Yeah. Okay. So
I forgot we had the same week.
Every time we go into the world, they're like, oh, you've been with eXp a really long time. And I'm like, have I? But I mean, I guess for starters, for all of those, you know, a little hesitant about eXp, they had to drag me tooth and nail to join eXp. But it has been much to my advantage, and I've definitely seen the benefits over the time I've been with them. And what I love most is, maybe it's the millennial in me, I like technology to help me as much as possible. And coming from another brokerage, or even the previous brokerage we're at, you have to rely on human beings being present while not also working on their business. So I love that there are specific people for me during business hours that their sole job is to wait on me hand and foot for whatever question or answer I need. And I just hop into the world and it's right there.
Yeah.
I love SkySlope. That's one of our huge programs that we have. You upload all of your contracts, makes everything really, really simple. Make sure you're not missing anything. And it works great with our transaction coordinator, CJ. So we have that communication.
We love CJ.
Thank you. Hi, CJ.
If he's watching, hi, CJ.
Now he has to watch. You got a shout out.
That's right. Yeah, no, we'll tell him. So also, I think it's important the way that you were talking about is convenience. It's like virtual flexibility, right? And I will often share your story. You might want to kill me now or pinch me or something. I don't know. But I was actually just in a meeting.
You're on the other screen. No,
right? Yeah, I was just in a meeting 20 minutes ago. And like many of the meetings I have when I'm sharing a little bit of a story about our experience, your name comes up. And this is why, because I totally admire you and you'll know why in a minute. So virtual flexibility, right? Our team meets 5 days a week. 4 of those days are very easy and flexible, 15 minutes, and we can attend the meeting from anywhere, right? From our phone. And so I always love the story. And of course, I'm like bowing down because your dedication is so great. How we have agents who have flexibility. They don't miss meetings. They love to engage and collaborate in the meetings. And you know what? You might have an agent in the meeting on their phone, but Disney Dixon is the perfect, Tolhurst. Disney Tolhurst is the perfect example because you'll be on the treadmill. Yeah, like I know when I ask Disney a question, I might get a little treadmill going in there, but I'm so proud of you that you are flexible to still keep your exercise training schedule and not miss a meeting and collaborate with the team, which is just awesome. Well, treadmill Disney in the meeting.
Getting those endorphins going for those prospecting calls, you know?
That's right. I love it. I'll reference you with your treadmill and Gianna with her real estate partner who's 1 year old. Baby Dylan.
Big seller right there.
That's right. So lots of flexibility is awesome. What are you most excited about in your current business?
Well, a lot of things, but I guess, are you saying in relation to eXp or, just
sure, all of the above?
Well, I've been reading a lot more. That was part of my 411 goals for this year, is to really educate myself. And it really has been a mindset change for me in terms of just, being committed. And I think that with anything you do, it's one thing to have a dream. It's another thing to take action on that dream. And so anyone can have a dream from anywhere, but if you don't commit to it. So for me, these past couple of months have been really me getting my business set up to propel forward on all angles. So I've been grateful for the leads that have been provided by my team and the great support that I have from you and Jeff and everyone else, but also, as we all say, really taking advantage of that sphere and putting yourself outside your comfort zone. So yes. Right now I'm getting very outside my comfort zone and I'm going all 100 committed. So that's where I'm at, and I'm ready for all the fruit to drop.
I'm so proud of you, and I've loved working together with you to see the growth, and I mean growth. I'm talking about individually. I'm growing, you're growing, we're growing as a team. Growth is exciting because you can see an evolution, and I just love that you were talking about being uncomfortable. It really was probably my biggest lesson last year in 2018 is I don't really think in my career I ever accepted feeling uncomfortable. I think I would give pushback, and I think it's really normal, right? I think we all want to push back, and I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Right.
But I'm telling you, wow, I know where all the growth came from in 2018 as it relates to my personal growth, right? And the business development. And it was because I pushed myself to be uncomfortable and literally said, no, you're going to do this one thing that you are afraid to do. And the other side of that was the most beautiful growth and opportunity for everyone. And I'm proud of you. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because you're going to just flourish even more than you already are.
Well, yeah. And I think part of that comes from, Grant Cardone said it somewhere in one of the books I'm reading that, if you're not doing it, someone else is. So so someone else is out there taking your money, and the only one who prevented you from getting it was you. And I was just like, God, you're right. Like, I'm not doing enough. And so that's where it comes down to, is that I think you have to ask yourself, are you operating on a level 1 to a level 10? Where can you honestly say you're at a level 10? And I'm like, no. So let's start operating at a level 10. And I think, like you said, those fruits of your labor will show, just like yours have in this past year.
It's been awesome. And it's a really cool discipline too, when you start to feel yourself. I love how our conversation, by the way, went to mindset. It's such a great topic. And I'm super excited that this is something that you're really excited about in your current business, because I just know that, oh girl, what's coming on the other side of this is good stuff. But yeah. So when we all can come to a point where the discipline is to say, I recognize this feeling's coming through. I'm not comfortable. And so your reaction is to withdraw or pull back or to decline or put up a wall. When you can break through that, and then you can welcome it and just dive in. I mean, I get goosebumps, because it's just really cool and it's special. And last year for me was providing more opportunity to help grow the team. And I just love to see the growth that's happening among everybody. And by the way, everybody on the team is just kicking butt. And so that's good. So I'm happy to hear that that's something that you're continuing to push through, because wait till we get together in a couple months and talk.
That's the goal, man. I'm going to be showing you the fruits of my labor over some champagne at Kappa. So.
I love it. Oh, so did the girls decide? Is that where everybody's going?
Right now, we're just trying to be the boys. The boys have all of a sudden made a very weird comeback, and I don't like it. So I was the only girl in the office today, ladies. So
that's right. So Disney's referencing, we're doing, actually, Jeff and I did a live video about it probably about a week or so ago. We were talking about that Jeff and I are doing a team contest. The team is already doing amazing and making calls and doing all the things we do in the world of real estate. But this was an incentive plan. So it happened to be girls against guys. I don't even know how that ended up. But you say the boys are winning last week, you think?
Well, they definitely showed up today with like 40 note cards. So
we'll see tomorrow morning when last week's numbers are released, right?
I don't want to, but yes, probably.
So this is the perfect segue, is knowing what you're focused on in your current business. What are you most excited about in your future business?
Well, obviously the fruits of labor coming through, but ultimately getting to that point where I'm just so busy that I will need a transaction coordinator of my own. And also just like we kind of talked about before, just getting outside the comfort zone. I've been working a lot with buyers, and sometimes I burn myself out and, sometimes end up spinning my wheels and getting frustrated and getting upset. And so it's one of those things where, you need to find that balance. And also there's this saying too, it's like, well, you're not, you wouldn't be so sad about losing all this business because you have so much business coming in that you'd be like grateful that you lost a few things. It's a few less things off your plate. So I'm excited for that kind of new stress that hasn't come yet, and not like depending on every little thing that comes my way. And also just for to maybe go into a little bit more of the listing side. So I've loved working with buyers, but man, I'm not so much. I act like a tough cookie, but I don't know how to tell someone that I haven't sold your house and it's been on the market 4 days. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That's what's going through my head. So,
well, we have some classes coming up for that,
Yes, we do. I think I need to be attending those.
No fretting for you. We have some great classes. You are doing fantastic. And yeah, so you focused very well on being a buyer agent, and it's a really great time to segue and start looking at diversifying and going out and helping sellers. And the good news is you have training available. So that is perfectly available, and let's rock it out.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's see how the future looks.
That's right. It's bright, girl. It's bright. So how do you feel, what would be the number one thing that you think your partnership with eXp how has it enhanced your business? Big question.
I know, I need a little time on that one. No, I will say that before, when I started real estate, I was with a much larger brokerage, and I had taken all these classes, but ultimately I wasn't really getting the nurturing side of things, and I was just kind of a fish in the sea, and just kind of, I'm swimming, but I'm barely like staying afloat. I don't really know which direction I'm going. So
right.
With the combination of joining your team and then having a new kind of network with eXp and having this, somehow it feels more like of a close-knit community, because at the end of the day, you're just one brokerage, where you're in another brokerage, but you're actually multiple franchises competing with one another. So it's just a different type of feel, and the right mixture of that support, but also that community that you probably could approach anyone and have that conversation.
Well, you certainly can. And also it's a testament to what a lot of outside people may not realize, is because from the outside, it might appear to be one thing, but as we know, the reality is a cloud-based brokerage actually brings you closer, because you have that flexibility we were referencing a few minutes ago as we were chatting, and it's unbelievable. I didn't know 18 months ago that the cloud would bring us closer. The cloud would grow our business. I just thought, well, it's this place we'll go and we'll get support, and our transaction coordinator will be there, or accounting's there, and we get paid at the table. And I knew there was some mechanics about it. What we now know, though, is that we become closer because we have the accessibility to get together easier with more convenience, take classes.
Yeah.
All the new, so I don't know even if Gretchen mentioned to you, but we have an unbelievable enhancement to training coming out here. And girl, there's going to be so many awesome classes on top of what we already have, which again, we leverage two things. We leverage the cloud. We can attend classes in the cloud, but the other cool thing is you can attend here too. We're going to be hosting a lot of classes at 422 Main, which is great.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's good stuff. So we kind of touched a little bit on, we said you live in Winter Garden. Talk to me about, what do you love most about living in Central Florida?
Well, of course, just like everyone else who kind of, has any intention of living in Florida, is of course the parks. So my name is Disney. How can I be Disney if I don't like Disney World? But maybe not as much as some other people, but love it enough to go. And it's different also living here as a local and going there, because the ins and outs and when to go and to make it the best experience.
Yeah.
And I can go whenever I want.
That's right.
And then, like you said, I love the weather, and of course, downtown Winter Garden. It's an amazing little street to walk around. And right next to the downtown Winter Garden is the West Orange Trail. And I love so I love going on that trail with my dogs and just outdoors. You can take that little hike up to Lake Apopka.
Yeah.
And then farmers markets. I'm a big fan of community events. I love markets and like supporting the locals. So I'm all about going to local businesses, as well as just checking out all the little events, and of course, garage sales galore.
That's right. Yeah. So, and it's another good reason why this ties in what we were mentioning earlier about working with a realtor who truly specializes. This is where we live, we work, we play, we raise our families. We know every intricate detail. So even what you mentioned, Disney, about knowing the strategies on the theme parks. So how important is it for a buyer who's moving into the Orlando area to partner up with a realtor who can share with them all the details on what it means to bring on the lifestyle, to really have this awesome lifestyle that we have in Orlando, and knowing like, what time do I go over here? And oh, wow, we have farmers markets. And like you said, all of the awesome things. It's a huge reason to work. This is our backyard. We know this area inside and out, right?
And we like it. There's the difference,
We love it.
We love it.
We love it. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking to you and would like to keep the conversation going. So I think everyone will agree that we need more videos of Disney.
I'm all for it. I think I'm meant for TV, right? No, I'm kidding.
And, right? And by the way, I mean, are like an amazing force to be reckoned with, and also a realtor named Disney. Come on, in Orlando, like girl, everyone remembers that name.
That's part of the future, right? Working on that branding without getting in trouble. So
Oh gosh, no, you aren't. So share with everybody what your contact information, how can they get in touch with you?
yes, well, of course you can contact Renee because you'll probably see me the most through here, but also I've got my own Facebook page. It's at Disney's Dream Homes, as well as you can find me on email, Disney, Disney, at realtyinorlando.com. And you can have my phone number. You probably won't remember it, but just in case, 407-960-9917. And you can also find me on Instagram. Same thing, Disney's Dream Homes, if you want a day-to-day life.
I love it. Yeah, so our team picks up the phone, right? We're a group of realtors who pick up our phone. Yep, so the phone number is relevant because not all realtors pick up the phone.
That is true. And I text too, guys. I text. So if you don't want to call me and you feel nervous, don't worry. You can text. I'll take any communication possible. I'm here.
We have every base covered you could ever need. Disney, you're like I am. You're like, I'm on every platform. You can find me anywhere. There's no reason you can't find me. Type my name in, I'm there.
That's right.
Well, I enjoyed chatting with you.
Well, thanks so much, Renee. It's been good. And I'll see you in the office soon. So,
all right, Disney, keep on doing it. And I can't wait to have more conversations with you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for inviting me. And thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day. Have a magical day.
Magical day. And we end with Disney's jazz hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Married, guys. Remember. No, I'm just kidding. I worked hard for this new name.
That's right. Take care, Disney.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.